What up, y'all? It's UFC T-Dot Breakdowns. We here for UFC Espn 41, Vera versus Cruz. It's a pretty good card. Just gonna start from the top. We had Yusuf Zalal versus Damon Blackshear. Yusuf Zalal is a really exciting fighter. I'm sorry, I'm in my notes. You hear that whistle? I mean, the first two rounds are basically just wrestling. Third round, Zalal, he really started to tee off on Blackshear, really getting into his flow. Blackshear looked really tired. Zalal throws this crazy hidden high left kick. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, it's so quick. Like, it just throws it after combos. Like, he was landing big body shots, big combos in general. Like, he really started tearing them up in the third round. I mean, it was like pitter patters, but he was lacing in real hits in the pitter patter. Like, he landed, like, you know, throwing triple jab to an elbow, to a right cross, to a right hook, after a stand switch, and then the left cross right hook, left body kick. Like, that was the combo. Like, all that shit in a row, just bop, 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 bop. Stand switch, bop, 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 bop. Like, it was a dope little sequence. That was what put Blackshear down also. The body kick put him down. And once he was on the ground, you know, Zalal was beating him. He ground and pounded him on the ground. Like, it could have been stopped, but it wasn't. They just let it go. Zalal also was trying to set Blackshear up for this knee. Like, he kept trying to land this jumping knee, but because Blackshear was kind of dipping in like he was going to shoot, and he kept trying to set him up for the knee, but it just never landed. Zalal won by majority draw, which two of the judges had it a draw and one judge had it for Zalal, so it was a majority draw. I mean, the first two rounds could have easily gone to Blackshear. Second round was more competitive. Third round was clearly Zalal, and it probably was a 10-8, so, you know. DC said that, like, he was up there to go into the ring, and when he found out it was a draw, they were like, no interviews. And so DC was like, you know, he was up there, and they said, hey, DC, no interviews, no interviews. And he started sidestepping, trying to get out of there without ruining the decision, which is interesting. Like, the fact that if he's in the ring and then he gets out of the ring, you know it's a draw from here on out, because DC just let the kitty out of the bag. Next up, we had Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan. I don't know what was going on here. So it's Josh Quinlan's debut. I think he's a tough guy. Also, they were saying something about him being on steroids, it sounded like, but I didn't quite catch it. And I mean, it's early prelims and he's fighting. They said they had to cancel the fight because he still had the stuff in his system or something. I don't know. I don't know what that means. The story of Quinlan's power, basically. Witt is gritty and rugged, but he came in, he kind of threw like a feint right hand and then a left body kick, and Quinlan just caught him with the left hook counter, I believe. Yeah, the check left hook counter, and knocked him out cold. Like, didn't even need to hit him again. Almost hit him, stopped himself short. Didn't even need to hit him again. He was out, sleep. Next up, we had Tyson Nam versus O'Day Osborne. The best part about this fight was that DC and Bisping were having an argument during the fight. Like, they were, what were they arguing about? DC started to say that O'Day was winning the fight, and Bisping was like, I don't agree. He was like, it's a little early to start saying that. DC kind of was getting amped up about it, and Bisping is yelling, DC, less coffee, calm down. Right after that, Nam knocked O'Day out. And Bisping was like, he was yelling, who's winning? Like, after the big right hand that Nam hit O'Day with, like, O'Day rolled backwards. Like, he kind of was off balance because he had just landed, but also he got knocked down. It wasn't just off balance. So he rolled backwards, and Nam just, like, did this running, sliding, like, hook uppercut into his face as he landed. That was pretty much the end of it. It was Nam by KO first round. This card had a whole bunch of first round stops. Next up, we had Gabriel Benitez versus Charlie Ontiveros. Ontiveros is 6'2" at 155 pounds. Like, he's huge. He was throwing like crazy axe kicks and spinning kicks and question mark kicks and body and leg. He's just throwing a lot of kicks, and he's so tall for that weight class. He just looks like he's not supposed to be in there. There was a point where Benitez literally picked him up and threw him down. Like, it wasn't a slam. It was like Benitez ended up winning by TKO. After he threw him down, he ground and pounded him out. Ended up winning by TKO round 1. DC, I don't know what happened, but something happened when they were talking, and DC, he was responding to something. He just said, it is, but his voice was awful. He just said, what's going on in business? What's wrong with your voice? It was just so funny the way that Bisping said it. It was so, matter of fact, like DC did on purpose. What is wrong with your voice? I like that their chippiness was going on in this card, but their chippiness is always friendly. Like, I don't think Bisping likes Dominic Cruz. I don't think they friends. Like, their chippiness seems like they really want to fight. But DC and Bisping's chippiness is super fun. Anyways, there's Cynthia Calvillo versus Nina Nunes, Amanda Nunes' wife. Amanda Nunes is in the corner. She was in the corner of a lot of fighters on this card. She's really taking her gym and coaching serious. Like, I don't know how much longer she's gonna be fighting the way she's trying to coach. But you know, there's fighters that coach. Just saying. This was an all right fight. They were both kind of tentative, I think afraid of each other's power a little bit. Calvillo was chopping up Nunes' leg. Calvillo really wanted to wrestle. There weren't a lot of big actions in this fight. Nunes had a flurry at the very end. I think she had Calvillo hurt. That was kind of the biggest thing I think happened in the fight. I don't remember the fight. I remember the flurry at the end. I remember Calvillo going for takedowns. Nunes won by split decision and then retired afterwards. Said she's gonna coach and be a mother. Next up we had Lucas Brzeski. This dude's name, man, is Brzeski. Like, man, get some more vowels in your name. Lucas Brzeski versus Martin Buday. The fans were booing in the first round when there just wasn't a KO immediately. Brzeski's pace and output is crazy. He just never stopped throwing punches. He's a lot faster. He was catching Buday with feints, and Brzeski's corner was yelling, "Go, go, go, go." And they was yelling something else in some language, and Bisping was like, or DC was like, I don't know what they're saying, and Bisping was like, "What, you don't speak Slovakian?" I don't know. I like Bisping and DC's back and forth. It's fun. Buday won by split decision. I don't think he won that fight. I don't remember Buday doing anything other than stalking the guy who was picking him apart at distance the entire fight. But judges saw something different. The crowd went crazy just because Patty was there. Patty the Batty just showed up. Crowd went crazy. It went crazy during that fight too, and it was like Buday was kind of having a little bit of a moment. I think he thought they were cheering for him, but they were cheering for Patty. Yeah, Lupi Godinez versus Angela Hill. This is a great fight because Lupi is really good, and she's been looked amazing in her last two fights. And Angela Hill has always been a great fighter. The problem with Angela Hill is she don't have no knockout power. Like, she can't put nobody away. She'll submit you, but she can't put you away. But as far as just technical striking goes, she's one of the best fighters in the UFC. It's crazy. I feel the same way about her like I feel about Michelle Watterson. They're both such good fighters, but I don't remember either one of them ever finishing any fight they were fighting other than a submission. You know what I mean? And Lupi Godinez's boxing is crazy. It's crazy. This is a fun fight. Lupi looked amazing in her last fight, and she looked amazing in this one too. Her last fight, she looked unbeatable. This fight, Angela Hill made her look like a human, but it was a really good fight. It was technical. And again, the problem, Angela Hill, her punches look like pizza rolls, man. She did boop, 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 and Lupi was just like, oh, oh, oh. All right, let's go. I think she may have stunned her once or twice with some big hits, but they were wow, looping shots when she stunned her. It wasn't a good combo that stunned her. And that's what she's mainly throwing, you know what I mean? Yeah, but Hill, she's savvy. She's a crafty vet, man. You could just see her. She's so good. Head movement, foot movement, body placement. She's good. You see it in the clinch. And again, I'm pretty sure Lupi's stronger than her. But, Hill kind of neutralizes that with her technical know-how and skill, you know what I mean? She landed 2 flying knees in this fight. Hill is fierce, man. There's one point where she had Godinez try to take her down, and she had her, Godinez try to take her down, Lupi, and she had her in a guillotine, but she didn't use it. She just used the guillotine to get back up, and she just threw her away, get off me. And she just looked fierce in that moment. It was a great fight, back and forth. Hill by decision. At some point, Bisping asked her something. She said something about being a slow starter, and she said, so I kind of have to thank Lupi because she kind of knocked me into the fight. So I have to thank Lupi for fucking up my brain for a few seconds there. I like that post-fight statement.